Hello and welcome to the Business Standard Morning Show. I'm Swapnil Joglekar. It's the 20th of June 2023 and here are the top stories for the day. What are the economic implications of Biparjoy? After telcos, is Jio coming for OTTs? Where to invest as markets trade near record highs? And what is the MQ-9B Predator B drone? Cyclone Biparjoy has weakened, but not before wreaking havoc in Gujarat and parts of Rajasthan. While there was no loss of life reported, normal life has been hit hard. Biparjoy has dealt a big blow to the coastal economy. With the frequency and intensity of such cyclones increasing, what are the larger economic implications? Biparjoy heads into the eye of the storm for all the answers.
In Bengali, the word Biparjoy translates into calamity or disaster. The tropical cyclone made its landfall in Gujarat last week, unleashing a wave of destruction. While no loss of life has been reported, damage to properties has been huge. Thousands of trees and electricity poles were uprooted as winds blowing at the speed of 100 km per hour moved inland. Accompanying rains too were no less destructive, as several parts of Rajasthan are still seeing heavy rainfall and even flooding. The name Biparjoy was suggested by Bangladesh, but the cyclone brewed over the Arabian Sea for several days before hitting the Gujarat coast at 6:30 p.m. on the evening of June 15. Gujarat and Rajasthan bore the maximum brunt, as at least 47 people were injured and 250 cattle lost their lives. While the cyclone has now lost its fury and its intensity has been downgraded to severe, Biparjoy was marked as very severe when it made its initial landfall. Behind Biparjoy's evolution, therefore, is a long and gradual change in the nature of the Arabian Sea. There has been a significant increase in the intensity, frequency, and duration of cyclonic storms and very severe cyclonic storms observed over the Arabian Sea. Between 2011 and 2020, the Arabian Sea saw 17 cyclones. But between 2021 and 2022, there were 6 such storms. There is a 52% increase in the frequency of cyclonic storms during the recent epoch, 2001 to 2019, in the Arabian Sea, while there is a decrease of 8% in the Bay of Bengal. The Arabian Sea has traditionally been cooler than the Bay of Bengal in the North Indian Ocean. However, there's been a rapid increase in the temperature of the Arabian Sea, which has affected both the frequency and the intensity of cyclones in the past few years.
The temperature of Arabian Sea has been rising over the years, and temperature, as you know, is one of the factors in cyclonic formation, cyclonic storm formation. Temperature also supports the kind of energy that a cyclone needs. So the rising temperatures of the Arabian Sea is a problem, and this rise in temperatures of the Arabian Sea could be because of the anthropogenic global warming.
The increase in intensity and frequency of severe to very severe cyclones also have impacted the larger economy. For instance, Cyclone Amphan, which made landfall in May 2020 near the India-Bangladesh border in the eastern Bay of Bengal, was the costliest tropical cyclone on record for the North Indian Ocean, which reported economic losses in India of approximately 1,15,000 crore rupees. In the wake of Cyclone Taukte in 2021, Maharashtra sought financial assistance from the centre to the tune of Rs 92 crores. Karnataka asked for Rs 11 crore. West Bengal Rs 4,522 crores and Gujarat Rs 9,836 crores. The final government data on the economic fallout of Biparjoy is expected to be released later today, that is June 20th. Experts also point out that preventive measures and the NDRF have helped to reduce the number of lives lost. But the economic impact is still heavy.
Whether it is Taute, whether it is all resulted in kind of economic losses of between 8 billion to 14 billion, with Amphan the highest. If you go through the Western cost is comparatively having very high levels of economic activity. But most of the economic losses, the mounting economic losses are happened due to two sectoral losses. One is power and other is ports. Yes, it is now there are a lot of expenditure happening for the evacuation and providing basic necessities for about 7 to 10 days is it results an approximate cost of say a person approximately 3 to 400 Indian rupees. So there are a lot of investment you have to do for search and rescue using helicopters and ships and other things around the.
What then are some of the mitigating requirements in terms of policy and implementation?
Still the focus of our rescue operations or the disaster early warning systems, they are more or less limited to saving the human lives. The numbers are coming down drastically, but there need to be more done for reducing the economic losses, which is not happening. Are we really considering the disaster vulnerability or the hazard in an area while going for an industrial siting or giving an approval for setting up an industry in an area? So last point I would like to see is risk sensitive land use planning has to be done, which is another, and coastal zone regulation also need more focus.
While experts agree, therefore, that India's disaster preparedness has borne fruit in reducing the loss of lives, this, they say, will help mitigate the mounting economic costs of cyclones like Biparjoy.
She'll soon be quoted on the front page. Business Standard.
But Biparjoy has given a short relief from scorching heat in parts of northern India. Moving on, JioCinema, it seems, is slowly turning up the heat on its rivals like Netflix and Amazon Prime. And the modus operandi is the same old tried and tested formula: start with freebies. JioCinema streamed the 2023 IPL free of charge. Soon, it had over 10 million subscribers. So what does JioCinema's rise mean for other players? Tariq Ahmed brings you the answer.
Reliance owned JioCinema broke all the previous records of viewership recently. Over 120 million unique viewers turned in to watch the final match of this season's Indian Premier League or IPL on May 29, and it was all free. According to the latest data from the last quarter, JioCinema had 10 million subscribers. Considering that the quarter results came out before the IPL, JioCinema definitely has more users at this moment. Viacom 18 has signed a multi-layer agreement with Warner Brothers Discovery. That means JioCinema will be streaming content from HBO, Max Original and Warner Brothers Studio, along with plenty of content from Indian producers. Woot, another popular OTT platform of Viacom 18, too is merging with JioCinema. JioCinema is a freemium video streaming service. It has both free tier and premium tier versions. While the free tier is backed by ads, the premium costs 999 rupees a year. Under the paid membership, viewers can watch what the platform describes as best of Hollywood on up to 4 devices. 4K content is also available on it. But what does it mean for the other OTT platforms, which were already struggling to stay afloat?
If you look at the India OTT market, a large chunk of the revenues also comes from SVOD as well. So close to 30% of the revenues comes behind the paywall, and that's SVOD revenue. So with cricket content, the premium content being offered free, you will see a pressure in terms of ARPUs, which means that the SVOD revenue growth rate for the OTT market will actually come down sharply over the next 2 years if these kind of freebies are sustained. And the second big thing is that it takes time to build habit in terms of customers wanting to pay for content, and Disney Plus had built this habit over the last 4 years, and they had kind of taken consistent increase in terms of ARPUs. So with JioCinema doing these kind of things and with Disney Plus kind of following them, is kind of a tough scenario for the market as far as S4 revenue growth is concerned.
The free streaming services of JioCinema has put pressure on other OTT platforms. Disney Plus Hotstar lost 8.4 million subscribers between October 2022 and April 2023. Now it has announced that it will stream the 2023 ICC World Cup and Asia Cup for free. But is this a sustainable business model for the OTT platforms?
I don't see these kind of business models kind of sustaining. One big reason is that pure play dependence on advertising does not really help, because digital advertising market is dominated by multiple large players. If you've got social and search media giants like Facebook and Google, you've got commerce players like Amazon, Flipkart competing very hard. You've got platforms like YouTube, which also have a large chunk of the video advertising market. So I think pure play advertising is something which does not sustain, and one really cannot make up for the losses of SVOD revenues.
Though the JioCinema's strategy is similar to the one Reliance adopted for introducing the JioSIM, experts think that the telecom sector is different from the OTT sector since there are more players involved.
I don't think that Jio is actually chasing this OTT market very aggressively. Their core proposition is to offer content as a value add free to their Jio Prime subscribers. In fact, one can't even be surprised if next year they start charging for content. They've already started to charge for the global content that they've tied up with. So I don't see this going the telecom way, because they're not approaching this market so seriously as they approach the telecom market. Plus, I think in this market, it is highly fragmented. We've got more than 40 OTT platforms as compared to telecom market, wherein we had only 4 or 5 players, which eventually became 2-3 players. So even if there is unrest, even if there is consolidation, even if there's pressure for the OTT market, you will see global platforms like Amazon, Netflix, Disney, spending aggressively in terms of content, and they eventually may not shut shop as compared to other telecom players.
But JioCinema has certainly disrupted the OTT sector by making the content available for free.
If you look at the April figures from Comscore, Jio is already at number 2, but that's only because of IPL. Once IPL is over, so I'd like to look at May and June figures before we decide. So Jio will be there somewhere among the top 10. It's ramped up madly because of IPL, and it'll reap the benefits because people will subscribe. They'll come for IPL onto Jio service. Then they'll say, "Acha, inke paas HBO bhi hai, Succession hai, ye hai, whatever it is," and they might subscribe for the other shows.
Certainly, the free streaming of content by JioCinema has disrupted the OTT platform, and JioCinema has earned a large number of users from it. But experts believe that the advertisement-based revenue model won't be sustainable in the long run.
Let us turn our gaze to financial markets now. With the Sensex and Nifty trading near their respective 52-week highs, are the markets set for a correction? And what should be your strategy in this backdrop? Are there any sectors and stocks that are still worthy of investment at the current levels? Puneet Wadhwa spoke with market pundits on how they see the market shaping up over the next few months and the stocks and sectors that you can still bet on.
Indian markets have seen a good run since March 2023 end, with the S&P BSE Sensex rising 7% and the Nifty 50 8% during the period. Now, it's only a matter of time when the indices will hit their fresh all-time high levels. On Monday, June 19th, the Sensex index missed the feat by just 8 points, while the Nifty 50 index missed it by 6 points. Analysts say there is more room for an upside, albeit amid intermittent corrections. Mark Matthews of Julius Baer, for instance, suggests that the markets have taken a number of negative events in their stride, and the bias still remains up.
I don't see a wave in the market these days as much as I see an eddy. In other words, a circular current that takes the market up and down in about a 10% range since January this year. Now we're toward the top end of that range, so we have to ask ourselves, what could happen to take the market down? Well, it would have to be a bearish event. But when you think about it, we've had so many bearish events already, and they haven't taken the market down. I think the market has already had so many bearish events, and if it hasn't buckled by now, I don't think it will going forward, and the bias is most likely to the upside.
Over the next few months, analysts say policies of global central banks as regards interest rates, crude oil prices, and geopolitical events are likely to dictate the trend. Back home, progress of monsoon and its impact on inflation, monetary policy of the Reserve Bank of India, June quarter results of India Inc., and flows into equities by foreign and domestic investors will impact sentiment. As regards investment strategy, analysts suggest investors remain stock-specific, as even if FII flows were to moderate, sectors with the domestic bias will do well.
So our model portfolio has a very strong bias for domestic and economy-facing sectors. So large banks are our biggest overweight, followed by industrials, real estate, and capital goods. We also see a play in cement. On the other hand, we believe export-oriented sectors, especially IT, is where we are underweight. Also, given the concerns that we have on the monsoon, we are fairly cautious on the domestic consumer sector.
So, adopting a stock-specific approach is advisable for now. On Tuesday, June 20th, the markets could yet again aim to reach record high levels. Globally, China will announce its loan prime rate.
He's making plans for an early retirement. Business Standard.
Defense stocks, meanwhile, will be in the focus for the next few days as Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits the United States. And even before the start of his visit, India has approved the acquisition of 31 MQ-9B drones from Washington. As heavy as an African elephant, this drone has earned the reputation of being a silent killer. Ayush Mishra has more on this.
Remember the 2015 Hollywood flick Eye in the Sky, where a General Atomics MQ-9 Reaper deploys a Hellfire missile during a counter-terrorism operation. India will soon have 31 of the armed MQ-9B Sea Guardian unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, to scale up its surveillance capabilities. The MQ-9B Sea Guardian and the MQ-9B Sky Guardian belong to the MQ-9 family called Predator B, developed by the US-based General Atomics Aeronautical Systems. The MQ-9B is a powerful unmanned aerial vehicle capable of long-endurance surveillance. Its turboprop engine allows for more than 40 hours of all-weather stealth flight time. Commissioned in the US Air Force in 2007, it is technologically advanced asset in modern warfare, capable of precision strikes. Its advanced sensor suite enables real-time intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, or ISR missions. Considered one of the deadliest UAVs in the world, MQ-9B can integrate air-to-ground missiles and precision-guided ammunition, making it efficient for monitoring vast areas of interest and conducting targeted strikes. The operational history of the MQ-9B family has showcased dominance in various conflict zones, including Afghanistan and Iraq. It has played a pivotal role in counter-terrorism operations, delivering strategic intelligence, supporting ground forces, and conducting precision strikes. The MQ-9 Reaper made headlines in January 2020 following the assassination of Iran's military general Qasem Soleimani, leading to a massive protest in the country. The Indian Navy has already leased 2 MQ-9B unarmed drones since November 2020 for surveillance purposes, demonstrating the country's intent to harness the capabilities of this advanced unmanned aerial vehicle. The recent approval by India's Defence Ministry to acquire the MQ-9B Sea Guardian drones is worth slightly over $3 billion. the MQ-9B Sea Guardian variant offers several improvements over its predecessor. It boasts enhanced endurance, increased speed, and advanced communication systems, making it capable of meeting India's defense requirements. With extended range and payload capacity, the Sea Guardian is suited for tasks such as intelligence gathering, stealth surveillance, and potential strike capabilities. It will be joined by India's indigenous stealth drone autonomous flying wing technology demonstrator, which conducted a successful maiden flight at Bengaluru recently. India's decision to acquire the MQ-9B variant underscores its commitment to enhance defense capabilities and protect national security interests. With the integration of the MQ-9B Sea Guardian UAVs, India will enhance its situational awareness, border security, and maritime domain awareness, positioning itself at the forefront of unmanned aerial capabilities.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.
Interestingly, this drone can be operated from as far as 1,850 kilometers. Well, that's all for today. Catch the next episode of the morning show tomorrow. Thank you for watching.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.